Hey, welcome back. We're now on the creek. We're going to talk a little bit technique today, some rope climbing technique. Rope climbs can be intimidating. They're a challenging movement. In all honesty, they're a dangerous movement in the sense that I'm going up a rope to a certain height that is higher than I am tall. And so dropping from that height for all of us, a lot of us, most of us, can be intimidating, scary, and all that stuff. So putting all of that emotional stuff aside for a second, rope climbing is actually quite simple. You aren't even really using your arms that much. We're using mainly our legs because we're creating friction and a clamp with our feet. Those feet are what are pushing against the rope. And so if my technique is very sound, I can get away without a whole lot of pulling strength and do some solid rope climbs. However, if that technique is not there, if I haven't practiced it, if it's still a skill I'm working on, then yes, there requires a lot of pulling strength. And if I don't feel confident in my pulling strength, now I bring all that emotional stuff back in, and it's a very scary movement, very intimidating movement, freaks us out. I'm not climbing up a rope. Okay, so what you can do for yourself or as a coach doing this with athletes is figure out, does an athlete have the requisite strength to get onto the rope and leave the ground? And it's quite simple. It's a 4-step process. So step 1, you reach up as high as you can on the rope and you just have somebody dangle without their feet flipping for about 4 to 5 seconds. You might need some chalk. We now have chalk. You're welcome, Kevin. All right, the next move is I do that same reach up nice and high, and I bring my knees up and I just dangle here for about 4 to 5 seconds, holding that position. You're good to go. All right, now I want to make it dynamic, because a lot of times what you get is an athlete who you tell them dangle without your feet and they grip and they squeeze with their legs. Or if I have them do this, they come up and they squeeze with their legs. It's not doing that much, but it's doing enough to kind of give you a false sense of confidence, perhaps. So what you do is now I want to make it dynamic, where I reach, bring those knees up, and cycle through some bicycle kicks 3 to 5 times, holding, starting to slip a little bit at the end there, holding that position. What I just confirmed for myself is I have the requisite strength that if I'm 10, 15 feet up in the air and my grip on my feet come out, I've got enough time, about 4 to 5 seconds, where I can grip that rope and I can get my feet back on it, and I'm not gonna plummet to my death from that height. Though there are mats on the ground, you're not gonna die. But you might twist an ankle, tweak a knee, hurt a hip. Those all suck. So equally as intimidating. So once we've got that, now you've got an athlete ready to practice your different wrap techniques. So the first technique, they call it Spanish wrap. I don't know why. It's a big loop around that rope. I've now got that rope across my foot. I reach as high as I can, reach my knee up as high as I can, step on the rope, kick out, and stand. Reach, we'll turn around, knee comes up, step, stand. I come back down by bringing my butt to my heels, and I'm off the rope. If you have an athlete who isn't quite there yet, they know they've got the strength, but they don't quite have the confidence, you can sit them on a box and have them practice just the foot. You could have them stand here and just practice the wrap, step, stand, drop. 3 wrap, step, stand, drops per rope climb. The other one, a little less friction on the feet, but a little bit faster, and I find a little bit easier to get some good separation, is our Russian wrap, where rope is outside my leg, loop, swoop, step, stand. Reach, swoop, step, stand, and then you can slide on back down the rope. Same thing if somebody's still working that footwork, you could just have them from the ground, reach, knee up, swoop, step, stand, drop, loop, swoop, step, stand, drop. Rope climbs are 90% skill, 10% strength. Once you get that skill, cycling rope climbs starts to become a lot more challenging. Pull, a little bit of breathy, a lot of midline support. So in a workout like today where we've got rope climbs, burpee box jumps, sit-ups and lunges, hello abs, and you're gonna get a lot of interference. Respect the rope climbs. I respect the intimidation around the rope climbs. The accomplishment of climbing a rope, and we're not 9 years old in gym class anymore, it is a hell of an accomplishment. Step into it, be courageous. Come on in, see if you can get up that rope. We'll see you on the creek. Creek. We'll see you on the creek.